Alien, Earth Episode 4 Recap and Review, dreadfully dull and goofy. Alien, Earth continues to be a show I wish I enjoyed, but still having a hard time loving. A handful of the performances are captivating, and the production value of the show is still, for the most part, rather high. Morrow by Babou Ceesay is a compelling antagonist. Kirsh by Timothy Olyphant is an intriguing synth whose intentions are still unknown. However, the lengthy Peter Pan analogy detracts from the entire situation. It could have been quite brilliant if it had been a subtle parallel that viewers had to figure out for themselves. Rather, it is relentlessly thrust into our faces. Most of the Peter Pan characters are even given those characters' names. Wendy, Nibs, Curly, Slightly, Toodles, Smee. Morrow is clearly Boy Kavalier, the tech bro genius who isn't actually all that smart, and Captain Hook are both clearly Peter Pan. They reside on Neverland, a research island. Kavalier either records an audiobook or reads from the book to the Lost Boys, children in adult synth bodies, along with the other adults and scientists at the laboratory, including Adam Ince, Kavalier's advisor, Arthur Sylvia and his wife, Dame Sylvia, and the numerous guards. Kirsh is not included. Are they pirates? Or is it necessary to support Morrow in order to be a pirate? However, in Peter Pan, the only adults are pirates, thus, the ridiculousness of the children in adult bodies and this Peter Pan framing undermine a lot of the tension the show attempts to build. Adults acting like children is inherently irresponsible. It's also confusing because these hybrids lack even the most basic protections. Even though Kirsh ends up listening in, he doesn't tell Boy Kavalier or Prodigy security about Morrow's continued manipulation of Slightly. Beyond a detective with a synth, one would expect that some fundamental security measures would be in place. Do they not have security keeping an eye on all these children say and do? Then there is Nibs, who has now declared herself pregnant after we witnessed her acting a little strangely last week. She becomes angrier when she speaks with Dame Sylvia and won't listen to anything to the contrary. She lashes out at one point, jumping over the coffee table and snatching the older woman by the throat. There are no built-in safeguards here, but Dame might simply say, cease motor functions, or another code word to stop her if this were Westworld. Even after she makes a covert security call, just 2 guards arrive. I believe Nibs would easily defeat the 2 because to her exceptional strength and quickness. By pointing out that boy, Peter Pan, Kavalier isn't really that brilliant, we can wave this whole thing away. Without caution, he threw his exorbitantly costly hybrids into peril. He has hardly taken any action to keep the highly dangerous alien creatures confined since he brought them back. At one point, when he urges Wendy to use her newly discovered capacity to hear the aliens to recreate their speech at a frequency the rest of them can hear, he misascribes a quotation from Arthur C. Clarke to Isaac Asimov, any sufficiently advanced science is indistinguishable from magic. The fact that the scientist opposing Kavalier's axe is named Arthur is undoubtedly no coincidence. It's a good match for Toodles' decision to forego his code name in favor of Isaac. However, Boy Kavalier's portrayal as a satire of the tech bro cliché is neither really intriguing nor convincing. It's too spot on, if anything. Moreover, it lacks coherence. Kavalier is sometimes portrayed as a Willy Wonka-like character, but without any of Wonka's cunning. Furthermore, a single CEO would have surrounded himself with a vast bureaucratic apparatus in a society where 5 firms control everything. No matter what, security would be in place. The issue is that, despite their best efforts, Neverland does not resemble Jurassic Park. Prodigy, unlike John Hammond's InGen, is a vast and powerful corporation. Then there is the sheep that the eyeball alien possesses. Here, the show abandons both its grasp of subtlety and its special effects acumen. The CGI during this scene was laughably bad, and completely ruined the moment for me. What could have been a really terrifying and unsettling scene, especially as the dead-eyed sheep stares ominously back at them, becomes just another goofy moment. A better scene takes place later, when Wendy and the newly hatched xenomorph snake baby chitter back and forth to one another. The most of the moments with Wendy and her brother, Joe Hermit, still seem quite uninteresting to me. At this point, he essentially serves as a story device and a negotiating chip that Kavalier and Kirsh can play with Wendy. Although Wendy is a somewhat engaging lead, she appears to me more like a plot device than a genuine character. She is the chosen one, but now that she appears to have developed feelings for the aliens, she may be a corruptible one. I'm finding it difficult to truly connect with Wendy as a hero to support in a television environment that gave birth to Dolores from Westworld. Thus, Kirsh and Morrow are the ones who keep me interested. As well as the filmmaking. In episode 4, there are some pretty cool scenes that quickly switch between scenes, demonstrating how much Kirsh is observing and listening in on everyone's activities. My issue is that, despite my want to enjoy everything, I simply cannot force myself to become fully engrossed in the narrative. I'm interested in the plot enough to keep watching because of the interesting setting and the obvious tension between Kirsh and Boy Kavalier, but the Lost Boy elements and the absurdity of it all have me laughing.